Antony Ervin became the oldest Olympic champion in the world in swimming, winning the Olympics at the age of 35. And the action of weightlifter Mathias Steiner when he pulled out a photo of his wife during the award ceremony moved the whole world. Today you will learn about the most touching stories of professional athletes, the difficulties they face, and how sports help them in life's most challenging situations. Enjoy! One renowned American boxer, Billie Miske, was born on April 12, 1894 in the state of Minnesota, USA, and his story has become one of the most touching in the world of sports. Billie devoted himself to the demanding and brutal sport of boxing. However, no challenges could deter him. He began his career as a middleweight, later moving up to light heavyweight and then heavyweight, where he found his first taste of success. Throughout his participation in various tournaments, Billie defeated numerous renowned fighters, earning himself a place in the Minnesota Boxing Hall of Fame. But what happened next will astonish you. One day, Billie Miske underwent a routine medical examination. During the examination, serious kidney issues were discovered. The diagnosis was grim, and he was given about 5 years to live. At that point, he made the decision to retire from boxing to avoid putting unnecessary strain on his body and ventured into a business venture, which eventually failed. The former boxer was left with a massive debt of around $100,000. By this time, Billie had a family he deeply loved. His health deteriorated, making it challenging to find stable employment. Furthermore, Christmas was approaching, a holiday he wanted to celebrate with his family. So Billie Miske decided to step into the ring one more time. He couldn't undergo full training before the fight, given the progression of his illness. His kidneys were almost non-functional. However, he didn't need a full training camp. He managed to knock out his opponent. Thanks to his victory in the ring, Billie Miske earned a substantial sum that not only helped pay off his debts but also allowed him to celebrate Christmas with his family. Unfortunately, right after the holiday on January 1, 1924, Billie Miske passed away from kidney failure. This story deeply moved everyone who heard about it. Being on the verge of death, the athlete stepped into the ring to help his family. Perhaps one of the most heartbreaking incidents occurred at the 2016 Olympics in Rio de Janeiro. A Spanish swimmer was supposed to compete in the 400-meter freestyle final. All the athletes had taken their positions and were ready to race when suddenly Miguel Duran committed a critical error, a false start, which led to his disqualification. The Spanish swimmer became highly emotional. Following his mistake, all the journalists at the pool who were present at the moment focused on him, capturing the profound sadness he felt. It's needless to say how devastated he was. The tall and powerful man broke down in tears, gathered his things and left for the locker room. However, luck was partially on his side. The judges reviewed their decision to disqualify him after it became clear from video footage and audio that someone in the stands had made a loud noise. That sound startled the athlete, causing him to move and lose his footing on the block, falling into the water. Miguel Duran was brought back from the locker room and he was informed that he could continue his performance. Needless to say, such an emotional upheaval made it impossible for the athlete to deliver his best performance. He finished 8th out of 8 swimmers in the race. It's worth noting that all swimmers wear special hydro shorts that lose their properties when wet. These shorts are costly and are typically used for just one race at such a high level of competition, which might have also affected the athlete's performance. The next story may be one of the most touching in all of sports. Mathias Steiner was born on August 25, 1982 in Austria. From an early age, he decided to dedicate himself to sports. He chose to pursue weightlifting. In 2004, while competing in a tournament, Mathias caught the eye of a young lady. Of course, those were times without social media or a robust internet presence. The young lady went to the office of a magazine and persistently requested Mathias's contact information. The editors, who were fed up with her persistence, decided to provide the athlete's email address. Susanna, that's the girl's name, immediately sent a message to the young man. Their email correspondence developed well and they decided to meet in person. After the real-life meeting, the couple couldn't bear to be apart. They fell deeply in love and soon got married. One of the key moments in this story took place at the Athens Olympics. Mathias was not a front-runner for victory in those competitions, and he finished 7th overall in the tournament. But it was in Athens that he pledged to his wife that he would win the Olympics soon and return home with a gold medal. Unfortunately, a long and happy married life was not in the cards for the couple. In 2007, Susanna was involved in a car accident with no chance of survival. Mathias was devastated, burying his wife in her wedding dress and visiting her grave every day. He stopped training, hardly ate or slept, and rapidly lost his athletic form. This continued for about a month. Throughout that time, he relived all the happy moments of his life and remembered his promise to his wife to win the Olympics. Mathias returned to serious training and within 6 months became the best in his country. In 2008, he headed to Beijing to fulfill his dream and promise to his late wife. The athlete narrowly edged out the second-place finisher by just 1 kilogram in the total weight lifted, but the tremendous effort he had put in was astonishing. Mathias Steiner lifted a total weight of 258 kilograms, earning him the coveted gold medal. During the award ceremony, the athlete stood with a photo of his wife. This story deeply moved all viewers and later online users who learned about it. Another swimmer on our list, Antony Ervin, was born in 1981 in California. He was a highly promising athlete and his career developed rapidly. At the age of 18, he already participated in the Olympics. The young swimmer's results were sensational. He won first place in the 50-meter freestyle and also received a silver medal in the relay. Such overwhelming success couldn't help but impact Antony. Sports became tedious for him as he had achieved the highest title. He started skipping training sessions and alcohol problems emerged. Eventually, Antony Ervin fell into depression and began experimenting with drugs. All of this happened precisely because of his success, as he even sold his medals to forget about the past. By the way, the money he earned from selling them went to charity. He even attempted to end his life by taking a massive dose of tranquilizers. But he woke up the next morning as if nothing had happened. Antony Ervin somehow managed to pull himself together and then began working as a children's swimming coach. This job started to bring the former champion back to a full life. He gradually began returning to sports, resuming training and his old lifestyle. Antony managed to overcome his depression with the activity he loved his entire life – swimming. The athlete started training vigorously again, and in 2016 in Rio de Janeiro, he once again won a gold medal in the 50-meter freestyle. By the way, he became the oldest champion in Olympic history, winning the trophy at the age of 35. Sometimes judges at even the largest and most prestigious competitions make mistakes in their work. This happened at the 2004 Olympics in Athens. Russian gymnast and full-time Olympic champion Alexei Nemov performed the most complex routine in the history of the sport on the horizontal bar. His performance was so stunning that the audience gave him a standing ovation, and many were already talking about the athlete's victory. However, the judging panel decided that Alexei was not worthy of gold or any podium finish. They placed him only in 5th place. The shock was palpable for the athlete and the audience. Due to this decision, all the fans at the sports complex who were there at the time created a real scandal. They expressed their outrage for a long time, chanting Nemov's name and loudly booing. All of this disrupted the competition and halted the performances for 15 minutes. It seemed like no one could save the situation. But then Alexei Nemov himself stepped into the stands, where he was supported by the fans. He calmed down all the spectators. It's worth noting that the athlete could have easily sided with the fans and disrupted the competition. Fortunately, he accepted his defeat with dignity and did not continue the scandal. And next you will learn about the slowest swimmer in the history of the Olympic Games. Eric Moussambani Malunga started swimming only 8 months before the Olympics. This is quite shocking, considering that professional swimmers spend several years and sometimes even decades to qualify for such important competitions. Eric became the slowest swimmer among all the winners in the 100-meter freestyle. He qualified for the competition thanks to a special quota given to all developing countries without expensive sports facilities. Indeed, in Equatorial Guinea, Eric participated in a simple swimming pool for recreation. The story of how he started in sports is remarkable. In the country, there was a radio announcement about recruiting athletes for the 2000 Olympics in Sydney. Eric was the only one who responded to the announcement. To help him prepare, Eric was offered assistance at the Eureka Hotel. There they provided him with a pool for training, which was just an ordinary swimming pool. He began training on weekends until the most significant race for both him and the entire country. At the Olympics, he remained the only swimmer in the event because his 2 competitors were disqualified for a false start. Eric swam the distance of 100 meters in 1 minute 52 seconds and 72 hundredths. For reference, the winner of the competition completed the same distance in 48 seconds and 30 hundredths. Formerly, Eric's time set a new record for his country. The swimmer almost drowned in the middle of the race, since the Olympic swimming competition takes place in a 50-meter pool, and Eric had only seen it for the first time. Fortunately, everything turned out well, and the athlete swam the distance to the applause of the audience. The next story will amaze you with the strengths of character that people can possess. Ethiopian marathon runner Abebi Bekila was born on August 7, 1932. He began to pursue sports from a young age, which led him to being in excellent physical shape. At the age of 28, he managed to qualify for the Olympics. This happened due to a fortunate turn of events. Another athlete, who was part of the national track and field team, suffered an injury while playing football. Abebi Bekila was the first reserve to participate in the competition, so he was chosen to represent the country. Upon hearing the news, Abebi Bekila started preparing diligently for the competition. The famous sportswear and footwear brand Adidas offered him a contract in which Abebi was supposed to wear the brand's clothing during the marathon. The company was supposed to provide the athlete with comfortable shoes for the race. However, Abebi ran the entire marathon barefoot for one simple reason. He couldn't find a comfortable pair of shoes for the race, even though he initially stated that he decided to run barefoot to demonstrate the strength and determination of the Ethiopian people. It's worth noting that a marathon is not 100 meters or even a kilometer. It's an exhausting 42 kilometers and 195 meters. And throughout this distance, Abebi ran barefoot on the scorching ground. 4 years later, Abebi took part in the Tokyo Olympics. He did wear shoes on this occasion, albeit from the Asics brand. The athlete managed to significantly improve his previous results. He completed the marathon 3 minutes faster than in the previous Olympics, which was an excellent achievement. At these games, Abebi Bekila added another gold medal to his collection. The last story on the list is not particularly heartwarming, but it is truly incredible in the world of sports. Sometimes people are too lazy to get off the couch on their day off, and this young man ran 2 distances at the Olympics with a 45-minute interval, setting world records in both. Paavo Nurmi was born on June 13, 1897 in Finland, which was part of the Russian Empire at the time. From a very early age, he was incredibly disciplined, and he constantly watched the training of the local track and field club members, which is when his interest in sports began. Little Paavo was already winning races at the age of 10, running the 1,500 meters against his peers. Many noted his determination and the outstanding physical abilities. However, in 1910, at the age of 13, he had to pause his athletic career due to his father's death and began working at a spinning mill. But even this didn't hinder his career. 10 years later, he made his debut at First Olympics, where he won 3 gold medals and 1 silver. It's worth noting that all the distances he ran were several kilometers long. The most remarkable feat happened 4 years later in Paris. Paavo Nurmi could have chosen not to participate in the competition due to any injury. However, he managed to recover and compete in the Olympics. There he accomplished something seemingly impossible. In the 1,500-meter race, Paavo set a new world record, and incredibly, just 45 minutes later, he started another race, the 5,000 meters. Astonishingly, even with such a short rest, he not only won but also set a world record in the second distance. The extent of this athlete's strength is truly mind-boggling. Some professional runners take several days to recover from long distances before competing again, which makes this case all the more incredible. Today you've learned about some of the most touching and interesting stories from the world of professional sports. Thanks for watching.